New Year's Eve. Tori. 10, 9, 8. The bar's patrons shouted in unison. Tori was filled with an energy that almost couldn't be contained. This is it. This is my moment. I'm going to kiss her. And it makes perfect sense. It's New Year's Eve. She twisted her necklace in her fingers, a move she often did when she felt nervous about something. She forced herself to let go and took a deep breath when the crowd shouted 4. Tori took a brief moment to appreciate her best friend, admiring her. Nat Webb stood 4 inches taller than her, had a shock of jet black hair that stood up all on its own, was well-muscled, and her facial features looked like they were chiseled from stone. Nat had made herself look irresistible this evening, wearing black slacks, a dark red button-down, and a thin black tie. Hot. Tori felt a surge of fear when the crowd chanted 3. She automatically reached for her necklace, but when she did, Nat turned toward her, grinning widely and swatting at her hand. The world seemed to drift away when Nat grabbed her hand, and Tori forced back tears of fear and smiled along with Nat. 2, 1, Happy New Year! The room erupted with hoots and hollers. Confetti and balloons fell from the ceiling, but Tori didn't notice. Nat had pulled her against her body, brought her lips next to Tori's ear, and half whispered, Happy New Year, Tori. When she pulled back, they both looked at one another for what Tori felt was an eternity. And then it happened. Nat lowered her head again, but this time not to whisper into her ear. This time she pushed her lips against Tori's. Oh my God. Tori's lips felt like they were aflame. She wrapped her arms around Nat's neck, pulling her hard against her mouth. She could feel Nat's smile against her lips, and then she felt Nat's lips opening to deepen the kiss. Tori's mind went blank when their tongues began to twist together. Suddenly, she wasn't just kissing Nat. They were full-on making out. Their tongues danced. Their breath became heavy. Tori opened her eyes, and they were in her bedroom. When? How did this happen? They stood at the foot of the bed, their fingers interlaced, just staring at one another. Nat smiled her wolfish smile. I'm going to please you so hard, you're not going to know what hit you. Tori's knees felt like jelly. Nat pulled her close until they were middle to middle and began kissing her neck. A wild heat pulsed through her, head to feet. Suddenly, Tori wasn't wearing a shirt. Then, she wasn't wearing any bottoms. Nat's button-down shirt had somehow also made it to the floor. Seeing Nat in just her white tank top made Tori's mouth go dry and her hand shake. Nat put her fingers underneath the hem of her own tank and pulled it off in one swift motion. She then pushed Tori onto the bed, eased her knees up, and lowered her face into Tori's hot, wet center. Tori woke in a sweat, mid-orgasm. Oh, fuck, she lamented in a hushed tone to herself. Well, that was chapter 1.